Good evening and welcome to the June edition of Hempfield Happenings. I'm Jackie Nikoloff.
And I'm Mark Perry. This month, we look at what one Hempfield teacher has started doing since retiring.
And a local business that is giving back.
So sit back and relax because this is Hempfield Happenings.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take prompter.
We start this month in Hempfield High School's Foreign Language Department. One sophomore used his understanding of the German language to win himself a unique experience. Jason Furlong spoke to Justin Chudzik about the award.
The language programs offer many different opportunities to explore cultures.
Justin Chudzik, a sophomore, has recently won an award that will allow him to travel to Germany for free.
While I was still in German 4, I took a national German exam, the AATG National German Exam, and I scored in the 90th percentile on that. So when you do that, you can apply to try to get an award, which entails a free trip to Germany. And I applied for that, they interviewed me, and I went through a process, and I was one of 44 selected nationwide to win that award. So it's basically, I was good enough at German that they gave me a free trip.
Justin won the ATG Study Trip Award to go over to Germany, and the way he won this award was he took the ATG National German exam. This year over 21,000 students took this exam. They have to write an essay, apply for the program, and then also if they are accepted through their essay, then they go on to have a personal face-to-face interview.
Es zeigt man, also man blöd ist oder dumm.
Ja.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of Justin. I'm very proud of all of my students. Justin has strived his whole German career. He's only a sophomore and he's an AP, so he took every single chance he had to take a German class. So it definitely goes to show that he deserves to be one of the 44 students in the entire country that get to go to Germany this year. But we have had other students in the past who have qualified, and we have lots of students that get into that 90th percentile. Justin just has a very special talent with German, and he shines through, and he definitely deserves this trip.
I honestly I had mixed feelings because I didn't believe it, because it's being one of 44 in the entire country. That's kind of hard to do, and to go to Germany free, normally going through the school costs thousands of dollars, so it's really a huge score for me and my family. It's going to be a new experience. I've never been in a setting like that away from home. I've been to Boy Scout camp and stuff, but that's totally different living with a different family who speaks a different language.
I think the only way to truly test yourself, if you know the language and you understand the culture, is to immerse yourself in that. And I think that it's an experience that everybody who wants to pursue a language to partake in and go and be in that country and immerse themselves around the people that speak that language.
Being with these people, I'll be able to make observations about their culture, so it's going to be just totally eye-opening to see how all these people, they live differently than we do here.
Justin will be going to Germany this summer and says he will use what he learned in class to experience the culture to the fullest. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Jason Furlong.
Hempfield presents students with many opportunities to immerse themselves in their future fields of work and thrive in the process. Jack Rule discovered how one student's creativity at the Lancaster Career and Technology Center has gotten her recognized.
Katie Splain, a Hempfield senior attending the Brownstown campus of the Lancaster County Career and Technology Center, won first place for her pin design in the SkillsUSA Pennsylvania State Conference this past April.
My grandmother and I used to go, and we used to do these countryside drives in Pennsylvania, and I always remember being so excited as a little kid going under these covered bridges because you hear everything and all of a sudden it gets dark and you see this light on the other side and you don't really know what's happening as a little kid. But then she told me as I got older that that was for good luck, and that Pennsylvania is a super special state because we have more of these covered bridges than any other state. So that really, as a child, made a good impact on me, and that's why I decided to use it as my pin design. When you are a part of CTC, you automatically join into the organization SkillsUSA. And then we have small competitions in each class. Depending on those results, my teacher decides which competition who would be best in. During the actual ending ceremony, when I found out that I won, it was just complete excitement, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was definitely a good experience, and I'm so grateful that I got to experience it.
Christian Baird, Katie's teacher, shares his thoughts on Katie and her art.
She's really good with the illustration too as well. Not just the graphic design, but she's a very creative, artistic person. For me, like as a teacher, it's really interesting to watch kind of like the evolution of things. Like when she first sat down across from my desk, she mentioned the covered bridges thing, and then when she mentioned the inspiration, like with the stories of spending time with her grandmother, I was like, oh, like that's great, that's good. I said, roll with that. But even at that point, it's just kind of it's a seed, it's an idea, and then, just to watch her develop that into a more complex, more well-rounded and kind of fully developed concept. It was exciting to watch.
So congratulations to Katie on this fantastic achievement. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Jack Rule.
The teachers here at Hempfield dedicate much of their time to their students. Then the question of what they are to do once they retire comes into play. One teacher has found a new passion to keep himself busy. MJ Alfonso went to the Strasburg Railroad to learn how exactly Mr. Mumma now spends his time.
Former Hempfield graduate and Hempfield teacher Mr. Joel Mumma continues to educate and assist people all the livelong day.
We're really looking for people that are just good with people. Individuals that are enthusiastic, that enjoy being around people, can make conversation with people. And then one other key thing for us is that he then also really helps to handle our group reservations. He's helping them or assisting them. Joel does a great job at that.
Oh, you're not leaving already, are you? Seems like you just got here.
Some of us have described Joel as a machine. By that, we just mean he's just kind of on overload. He's constantly interacting. You'll never see Joel take a break or even grab a bite to eat. He just cranks it out. He always seems upbeat, personable. And Joel's the kind of person, honestly, that you kind of scratch your head, at least while he's here, you wonder, like, does the guy ever have a bad day?
See ya! Yeah! Bye. I taught at Centerville for 23 years. And before that, I taught at the high school for 7. So when I retired, I taught in the district for 30 years straight. Teaching is, if you do it right, very emotionally and psychologically draining. It can be exhausting. One of the things that I've found most valuable working here at the railroad, and this was true at Centerville Middle School, and it's true right here, understanding that in any organization, everybody is important. That all the people that make an organization a smashing success, they are not interchangeable parts. And that's what I think makes this such a great place to work.
A passion for people and vast knowledge of history make the Strasburg Railroad and Joel Mumma a perfect junction. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm MJ Alfonso.
For many, traveling the world can seem like an adventure. After much preparation, 3 Hempfield teachers are heading across the globe to visit a Mount Everest base camp this summer. Jackie Nikoloff hiked over to their classrooms to talk with them about the trip.
Three Hempfield teachers are gearing up to take the adventure of their lifetimes.
This summer, Miss Blackledge, Mr. Brogan, and Miss Bashang are heading to Nepal and Tibet.
We fly into Kathmandu, and then from there we head west And then we'll be flying to the southwestern part of Nepal.
Then from Nepal to Tibet in China.
After participating in a holy pilgrimage around Mount Kailash in Tibet, they will head south to Mount Everest base camp.
At Mount Everest, we'll be staying at the Rongbuk Monastery. It's the highest elevation of a monastery in the world. And then the next day, then we will hike to base camp and then possibly go up to advanced base camp.
It's one of the last spots where we would be able to handle that kind of trek.
Well, there's a group of us that are going. I think there's 4 in our group, and then we have our group leader.
We'll also have several Sherpas and porters for our gear, and a Sherpa guide who has been to Tibet over 10 times.
The group is excited for the new experiences that will come with the trip.
It's outside my comfort zone. A lot of camping, it's a lot of hiking, and I'm not used to this, and I wanted to try something just to challenge myself.
It's going to be a different experience, and I'll just have to wait and see what happens.
And the 3 can see themselves bringing what they learned back to Hempfield.
It's important to go out and do things and not just be afraid of the world. And so that's why I think this is also an important life lesson is, what I try to teach my students, you don't have to stay in East Petersburg all your life. You can venture out. And we talk about that kind of thing.
It's one thing to read about it, but then to actually experience it. I think I'm going to learn a lot just by being there. I can't wait.
Ms. Blackledge, Mr. Brogan, and Ms. Bashong are excited for what they will encounter on their trip to Nepal and Tibet this summer. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Jackie Nikoloff.
As we move into the warmer months, the weather has a larger impact on school activities. A recent event had to be canceled due to rain, but even spring showers could not dampen Hempfield pride. Liz Beerley investigated where this strength and school spirit comes from.
Due to the inclement weather, tonight's game has officially been postponed. Thank you for your understanding.
Due to the rainy weather, this year's Hempfield Spirit Night at the Lancaster Barnstormers Stadium was a strikeout.
Hempfield Spirit Night is held at the Lancaster Barnstormers once a year. And what it is a night that we come together as a district to show our pride and our spirit for our school.
We had several students who were going to throw out first pitches, 3 of those. 6th grade chorus was going to sing the national anthem. Dance theater was going to perform before the game.
I was definitely super bummed that we couldn't perform with the Barnstormers this year, but I'm definitely really excited to go back next year and do it.
The Spirit Night brings the district together, and the proceeds from the evening benefit Hempfield Mini-thon.
Dr. Furman and I have both been involved in Mini-thon. So this year we came together and we were the chairs of the event.
It entails 12 months of organizing events and fundraising for 4 Diamonds, and not just the fundraising piece, but making the community aware of childhood cancer and what 4 Diamonds does.
It helps out families in so many different ways. It helps them with education, with support. It does research for pediatric cancer. It's just an amazing organization.
Although the May 6th game was rained out, the district vouchers can be redeemed at any point during the Barnstormer season. Proceeds from these vouchers will benefit Hempfield Mini-thon. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Liz Beerley.
At Centerville Middle School, students interested in writing poetry were recently able to let out their inner Shakespeares at the Poetry Slam. Zach Lehman investigated the minds behind the mic.
Welcome to CMS and a night of the arts. We hope you will see, hear, and taste things that will warm your hearts.
Here at Centerville Middle School, there are many ways to showcase your talent in the arts, and one way is the Poetry Slam.
Mrs. Jamie Lynn Brown is the person behind the idea. She started this event 4 years ago with Mrs. Wetland.
So the Poetry Slam is a competitive art form of spoken word. So pretty much people kind of face off and lay down some prose, and we have rounds, and the difference between just a stand-up open mic night and a Poetry Slam is that it's a competition. So we choose members from the audience to serve as judges. So we have a lot of participation, it's a lot of fun. We get parents and siblings up there to judge and score as well, and we award prizes.
They are just to start. The words make us fall, not rise, and they're blind.
12 poets participated in the Poetry Slam.
Face brighter.
Well, this year we have a really cool notebook, a journal for writing that features the artist Keith Haring, and then the first, second, third place and honorable mention get gift certificates to Rita's.
The poets can express their feelings on many different topics.
We're a great mix. It kind of varies from year to year. Sometimes there's some really emotional and very personal things that are dealing with some very tough issues. We've had poems that dealt with mental health. We've had poems that dealt with bullying and self-harm, but we've also had some comical and fun and lighthearted poems as well.
Mr. Jim Degg, the principal of CMS, explains the benefit of the event.
But there is something unique about the fact that it's an intimate opportunity for kids to share their feelings through poetry. So sometimes you get some really heartfelt poems that go on. And so the venue actually kind of helps out with that as well.
So in first place, we have both Sarai Simmons and Megan Regard.
I mean, our school doesn't really do a lot of stuff about writing, so I really liked this because I was able to really express myself and talk about stuff I don't really get to talk about at school.
In the Hempfield School District, there are many opportunities for the students to show their talents in front of the community. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Zach Lehman.
There are many unique businesses in our community. Emily Moser learned how one such business is giving back.
Owning your own business is a common dream many people have. One resident from Lancaster County took her small business that was located in her basement to the international level.
Her Business by Kathy is a gift importer, wholesaler, distributor.
So we sell to businesses all over the United States and Canada, and they come in here and pay wholesale prices and then take our product back to their store and sell to their customers. So they get really good prices, and it's anywhere from tea towels, pillows, box signs, frames, decor for every holiday.
Kathy's interest in home decor began while working in her mother's small gift shop for 10 years.
I was working with her, not feeling super challenged, so I wanted to do something more. So I started with just craft shows and had some great success with a little candle box product at craft shows. So decided to go to my first wholesale show in the gift industry, and that's how I got started in the wholesale side of things from the retail. That first wholesale show was really the start of manufacturing, and the first 5 years I was all American made, so I worked with Goodwill Industries. When we went wholesale, that's when we started selling to all kinds of little gift shops across the country.
Even 20 years later, Kathy still operates her business in a true entrepreneurial fashion.
Just kind of evolved, and it's still, at this level, is still evolving. You run with it, and you grow as it grows. So never really had a plan, never really had a goal to be this big at this point, and we're really just running, as fast as we can and growing the business as much as we can. Back at the start of the company, when I went to Goodwill and had Goodwill said no, that they didn't want to take the project on, I might have never launched. So I feel like I really owe, to give back. We host a lot of shopping groups where we'll host a group of kids. They come in and they get Kathy Cash, and they get to shop in the store and spend their Kathy Cash. And so it's just a fun, real life shopping experience for them.
We'll take the kids and explain what happens here. They usually get to do some sort of craft, and they broke up into groups and got to shop.
One of the guys, the students, is usually pretty sad. And this day, he was so surprised that anyone would be so kind to him, and that he would have real gifts to give his mom for Mother's Day and things for himself. And it was good to see him so happy.
I went to Business by Kathy. I bought a pedal and a picture box of wood with my Kathy Cash. Thank you for inviting us to come.
We had no idea that we were going to be taken care of as well as she's taking care of us.
Kathy donates any damaged or misspelled products for local classes like Mrs. Moser's to repurpose.
It was such a shock and a surprise when she said, yes, here, you can have all these things. And we ended up leaving with bags and bags of products to sell. She's given us blank boards that we paint. She's given us towels that we can repaint in different ways. And now we're using to dye and make rally towels for the football games. She's really made it possible to continue the mini business for our classroom with very limited funding.
With help from Kathy and her products, Mrs. Moser's classroom was able to raise over $600 to fund community-based instruction for her students. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Emily Moser.
For many, coffee is an essential part of the morning routine. Hempfield High School's guidance office has found a way to connect with parents of freshmen while providing them with a cup of coffee and an opportunity to ask questions. Kaylee Gallagher stopped in for a cup of joe.
Things that happen, September, obviously the back to school night, we always encourage.
Parents can sometimes struggle to get information about what is going on at school. Coffee with the Counselors can help freshman parents alleviate this problem.
Coffee with the Counselors was created just as a parent outreach event. We wanted to offer something just for parents, for them to come in, hear just different informational things about the 9th grade academy in particular. So we've been offering events once per quarter with different topics that we felt might be helpful to parents, and we're also getting input from parents on what kind of things they want to learn more about. They have to save 2 colleges or post-secondary schools they're interested in.
It's just a meeting about the school year and what's coming up in the next few years with the school counselors. I expected to learn about college prepping and getting ready for what's beyond high school, and that's what we learned about.
Both parents and students see the value in these informative sessions.
I think Coffee with Counselors is a good idea for parents because it lets the parents get involved in their kids' learning in high school, and it's really helpful for both parents and the kids.
So if you are the parent of an incoming freshman, make sure to attend Coffee with Counselors next year. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Kaylee Gallagher.
Hempfield recently started the one-to-one initiative to incorporate the usage of iPads into first grade classrooms. This coming school year, the district plans on expanding it to other grade levels. Keene Fulton got an update on the expansion coming this fall.
End of the 3 years, so in about 2 more years, we're going to be.
In our society, technology has become even more prevalent in the coming years, and a great example of that will be one out of many schools participating in the one-to-one program, Mountville Elementary.
The one-to-one parent information sessions are designed to give parents more background information about how the one-to-one program was designed, the research we did, a lot of the details that really flesh out what students are going to be experiencing, how teachers are going to be interacting with them, what some of the tools are, what parents can expect to see throughout the year as the one-to-one program rolls out to all of the different grade levels. The district's one-to-one information sessions are designed to kind of give parents an overview of how their child will be using the one-to-one iPad both in school and at home. We're going to be covering some different applications that your child might be using during the school day, and then also how your child will be using Schoology at home to interact and keep up to date with what's going on in the classroom. Some of the apps that students will be using include productivity, like Office 365, Google Apps, Apple's Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. We'll also be talking about the district's electronic book initiative. Our library system has been expanding the number of electronic textbooks they've been purchasing on a yearly basis. All students in our one-to-one program and those not in our one-to-one program pretty much have 24/7 access to a very wide, large library of electronic resources. The district's one-to-one initiative has been in the planning stages for probably almost 3 years now. A large group of individuals ranging from the district's comprehensive planning committee to the technology task force comprised of school board members, district administrators, community members, teachers, technology staff, have all been looking at many aspects of the one-to-one program and how it will affect education here at Hempfield. The main goal of this program is really just to provide another resource, a more up-to-date, a more modern resource for teachers to use both in and outside of the classroom.
I think it's a good concept, and I think they would actually learn, especially how it's educational apps, not just any apps that they can download. So yeah.
I'll be very honest, I was very skeptical coming in, worried about screen time and things like that. But after going to the meeting, I am excited about my ability as a parent to kind of interact with the teacher and get on Schoology and to help my son in that respect, and I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities he has that I never had as a student without all the technological aspects of the curriculum.
I'm sure the kids will love it, really. So yeah, I think it's great.
With the coming year, Michael Graham hopes the parents will be excited for the one-to-one program to keep improving. For Hempfield Happenings, this is Keene Fulton.
One company has found a way to unite small businesses. Emily Moser went to explore the entrepreneurial endeavor.
Lancaster City is home to many small businesses who have the goal of creating creativity and culture throughout the city. In fact, there are over 50, yes 50, right behind these doors. And what's their goal? To build character throughout the city.
It is a store with about 60 different vendors in it that sell everything from vintage to antiques to handmade, to all kinds of stuff. Originally, 8 years ago, Building Character opened and was really a store that had more salvage, architectural salvage, and pieces like that. And that's where the name came from, Building Character, because it was more building materials and that type of thing. And just over the last 8 years, it's just gradually changed into what it is now with all the multiple vendors.
One thing I like about Building Character is that it's ever changing and that there's always a lot of new things from different artists and different people there that, you know, every time you go, it's not going to be the same thing that you looked at last time. There's a lot of new stuff to see.
Really cool, unique prints, cards. We have vintage toys, records, just lots of really neat, unique things. Lancaster-related stuff is very cool. You know, if you're shopping for your mom, your brother, your aunt, your dad, you can find it all in one spot.
The variety of vendors adds to the uniqueness of Building Character. In fact, being a vendor has its definite advantages.
It's cheaper than having your own store. You don't have to pay overhead. You really just have to pay a rent and a commission. There's a ton of people that come in every day. Weekends and holidays are very busy. A lot of tourists. So there's just a lot of eyes on your product. A lot of different eyes as well. Brings a passion for Lancaster. You know, we love the city here, and we do a lot to support the city, not just in selling things that say Lancaster on them, but just supporting a lot of other businesses in town, and just getting a lot of people to come to this block and to the city.
I think people should go to Building Character because you never know what you're going to find there. They have a lot of really cute things, a lot of stuff that you can't find at normal stores, and you never know what's going to be there.
Building Character is the perfect shopping destination for a variety of items from vintage to handmade. Next time you're in Lancaster City, make sure to stop by. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Emily Moser.
That concludes the June edition of Hempfield Happenings.
We hope to see you next month to learn about the Dream Park being built at Amos Herr Park,
Transitions within the district,
and the start of the senior interviews.
But for now, enjoy your summer.